Hi everyone. Today let's talk about uranium. For this video I'm just going to go over the technical picture of URA, CCJ, UUUU, as well as UEC. You guys have really been watching these videos quite a bit, and I'm also pretty heavily invested right now in uranium stocks. And then I'll go over my current position in URA, and I also have positions in energy fuels, which is UUUU, as well as uranium energy or UEC. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this as well as portfolio overviews every single week, so make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. So starting off here with URA, you can see we're still in this very solid channel on the daily chart, and we're right at the bottom of this little support level we had here. We have the shorter term trend line right here and this longer term trend line sitting right here along with the 200 EMA, which is currently at $22.49, with the stock sitting at $23.46. So just $1 off of that support, and you can see in the midweek here we did have a touch of that support level, a nice little bounce up, and then it retraced back to support. Hopefully this is a nice retest before we get a nice move up. Of course, we have these upper trend lines representing pretty large potential for upside, somewhere around 50 to 60% over the next few months. And of course, anything could happen here. This could be a potential breakdown of the long-term trend. It does seem pretty unlikely to me, as uranium has a pretty good fundamental long-term outlook. But of course, we do have these longer-term trend lines here sitting down at $16.50 or so, which would be a pretty significant dip. But in my opinion, this seems like a pretty solid buying opportunity. Moving over here to CCJ on the weekly chart, just to show these really long-term trends, you can see from 2007 all the way to November of 20, we were in this long-term down channel before we had a very strong move up. And then if you connect the highs here in 2018 to this little bounce we had in 2011, that trend line is actually currently sitting right where we are right now. You can see it acted as resistance right here in June of 2021. And is currently acting as support here in December of 2021, which again gives this a pretty solid potential for upside. And of course, we're sitting on that lower limit of that channel. And then going over here to the 1-day chart, you can see what that looks like a little bit closer. Hit the top of the channel here in November, moved all the way down to the bottom of the channel by the end of the month, similar to what we had here in June into August. And if this support level holds, then there's certainly solid potential for upside, which would be somewhere around 50% to the top of that channel, around $33 if the stock makes new highs. Switching over to energy fuels, on the 1-week chart, you can see we have this level that I added here at $7.15, which has a history going all the way back to December of 2008, June of 2011, all throughout 2012, all the way to 2014, and then again here recently. We are engaging with it here in March of 21, and now we are back testing that level here in December of 21. And that also, again, coincides with the lower limit of this trend line. If you combine that here with this low here in November of 20, the low in August of 21, and now here in December of 21. And moving this down here, you can see what this might look like. Potentially upside all the way to the highs of around 150% if we hit that upper channel. But it seems like the more likely case would be somewhere around 60%, right on par with the other stocks that I've mentioned. Looking at the tasty charts here for UUUU, I did want to show this one just because it gives quite a different perspective here, and it's a little bit harder to nail down exactly where this is going. You can see we had a rally from that first lower ATR band all the way to the uppermost ATR band and above. We're now retesting that midline, which is pretty common, something like we saw here in March into April, retested that midpoint, and we had another rally back up to new highs. Hopefully we see something like that and this stock rallies back up to new highs, or at least a little bit higher, maybe retesting this $10 mark. And you can see here on this stochastic RSI, we're way oversold, similarly to where we were here, where we double bottomed before having that monster rally. And lastly here, looking at UEC, you can see on the weekly chart, this is really long-term trend line going back to May of 2016, acted as resistance here in April of 21, did break through kind of a false breakout here in November. Now we're retesting that support level we have here, currently at $3.28, with the support level sitting just below that at 318 or so. Hopefully this support holds. It looks like it will. We did have a nice interaction here. Down move, potentially retesting that support here on the weekly chart. If we go into the day chart here, you can see what that's looked like. Touch here on the 16th, touch here again on the 18th. Touch on the 17th, and with a little bit of luck, we can get a nice move up at least. And with a little bit of luck, we can get a move up at least here to this next resistance level, which would be around 34% from current prices. And even if we go and retest those previous highs, that would be 72%. And if this uptrend is to continue, that would suggest that there's potential for higher highs. And I don't even know really where that would be right now, since I don't really have a solid upper trend line of where that would potentially be. But if I had to put a guess, I would say somewhere around $7, which would be a little bit over 100% from current prices. And for uranium itself, I did want to mention the weekly chart here because it does look a little bit more like a trend than the daily chart. And if we go all the way back here to July of 2014, and this is generally the same slope as what we have here at this lower resistance line that we broke through here in September, it does kind of line up with those previous highs. The expectation here at the minimum would be that we hit this 20 EMA, potentially retest support here in May or April of 22. And then we would get a nice move up back to resistance again, somewhere around $54 per contract here for uranium contracts, which if we get a nice move up here, obviously should support more upside for the stocks that I previously mentioned. Moving over to my positions, this one is URA. You can see I sold puts to purchase shares at $27 when it was quite a bit higher, and I collected $1.20 per contract on those puts, which puts my break even down here at $25.80. And then I sold 2 calls down here at $23 for 80 cents each, dropping my break even down here to $25. Obviously on this contract, I can't get back up to that break even quite yet, but this is a very short-term contract. It's only 4 days, so it does expire next week. And if the stock holds above $23, I can get rid of these shares and keep the $2 total that I've collected. And then I can sell puts again to re-enter this position, further reducing my cost basis in the next week. And as long as the stock does what I mentioned and rallies from here, then I'll be able to make a little bit more money as the stock goes up. Moving over here to my Robinhood account, you can see my positions. It's been a pretty rough month, just to mention this here, down $1,200 or 10%. But looking at the positions on the shares that I've been assigned, you can see I have 200 shares of UUUU, as well as 200 shares here of UEC. These were all assigned at the end of last week. And rolling into next week, I will definitely be looking to sell calls on these. Hopefully we get a solid up couple days to where I can sell calls at a little bit higher price than they are right now. But for UUUU, I bought these shares at $8 and $9, so down a little bit overall. And then UEC, I bought these at $3.50, so down just a little bit. Again, pretty small position here since these stocks are only $3 and $7 versus URA, which is sitting at $23, and 2 contracts of that, a little bit over $4,500 of that stock. As long as you guys keep enjoying this uranium content, I will keep making it. Definitely comment down below what you think of these uranium stocks or my positions specifically. Like and subscribe if you got any value out of these videos, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes, and have a great day.